something to look forward to as well on this map.
I'm hoping
especially
that
on that B side.
The Louds. I don't want to say play properly, but I hope they don't make the mistakes where they look like they kind of disrespected 2G a little bit and paid for it. Goose, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you. Do you mean to sound British? Goose, why are you always going in on me? It's a great shot to start this off. They create pressure over towards B. They insta-group towards A. They got a wall, but we still have a solar Vice here. They can go through this at the same time. The Vice is in trouble.
Taking any undue risks means that 2G get into Arc pretty much for free. This is going to force 2 years back on the site now. Dark Rose got cleared out. Nebula throwing up here, hopefully to slow 2G down, but it has not worked. And Aski has found yet another one.
Tigo, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate the 5 months.
Having impact. Comfortable post plant
damn, bro. Every duel.
From strength to strength. They got ahead of steam and they're not letting up.
It's just a massacre. Loud lost every single fight. Even on Lotus, which 2G
Milan, hello mate. Hello. Congrats on the win, by the way.
First anti-bonus, like,
stuff's looking nice.
Still Loud getting out to an early lead. This has been lights out from 2G.
Right, I mean, if Loud can't rely on that, the factor of, Digizine, right, constantly opening up the game, giving them 5v4s, then feel even worse about their chances than on the previous map. Especially given this is a pick from 2G, no less.
Yeah.
What a clean,
no one goes down.
Pistol.
Be a little bit more difficult to capitalize off your teammates.
Mini Titans, thank you for the gifted. Thank you. There you go, Milan. Just keep on winning this week.
Here, just completely left on his own. The
second game today is C9 against Lev.
There were about 18 million people in a lobby.
It's tough, love. Thank you so much,
before
Goose.
that comes through.
It's okay, I can handle it just about.
Gonna straight away pivot into a pretty big
Fine, I'll cry off stream.
PXS rifle in hand now.
One sheriff on defense. That's it.
Goes for the rifle round 2.
Yeah, dap me up, boys. I'm going in.
I love it. Oh, Oski is trying to get in front
of
the util. That's not a clone.
That's nice info.
A real one.
Okay, takes a face full of damage here. Does that end up being a difference maker?
What are they going to do? Are they just going to send this?
Look like it.
Oh no.
Oh god. So back to 25 armor at least. Cohen's in, caught in the corner, sat on top of the Teo util anyway. 2G are breaking upon this Loud team, and they found themselves that player advantage. We'll have Digizine coming through with a wrap here, but he'll be spotted out.
Tui sneaking into sight. The only one to try and do some damage, but yeah, he's seen.
Weird from Tui's to know that he's planning next to him to get out here, see no one, and to path at the back. I think he just tunnel vision on the defuse on the planter there.
Guided salvo just to try and get pole position as he approaches that A site.
Yeah, and him doing that,
great stop for 2G.
Or it stops Loud from getting anyone to cross over to that box in A main to play that sort of tag team setup where you can swing off each other's contact. It's for a good reason. From the salvos and the Astra smoke.
And again, this is not a map we've just seen much from 2G, in fairness. It's hard to know what to expect here, but so far, they've been dynamic. They've been pretty decisive when it matters, but this is the gun round. This is the important one.
No, they are decisive. Even the calling on the first map was decisive.
From 2G upgrade into rifles this round.
Like everyone was believing in the calls that were being made.
And those, for the most part, are going to be working into the mid space. There's a star to turn into a pullback here for Vinny to play
that's
off,
nice though. Damage into here, you force through, and they kind of just have to commit. Either get it for free or you trade out, really. They have to commit heavy. Maybe the only pose you get owned for is here. They could maybe add a Astra stun or something. Dude, they're going to bonus them. The only way they lose is if someone oversteps, really.
For 2 years to get the help that he needs. Pancada finally is able to chime in. Silence out of the game, but now there's a smoke in
If Cabrera gets a kill, he gets his ult.
Occupied by 2G in this post plant.
Super active post plant. I love how 2G are playing
this.
Okay, Askia
too obvious.
Pancada's able to find him through
good spam from Pancada.
They
they still have crazy delay. Astra suck. Salvos.
Here's Cabrera. Here's the tap. Cohen's in, good for it. Awkwardly caught with util in hand, and it's the Teo curse striking again. Cohen's in, clearly unaffected by it though.
Yeah, and they think he's over towards long.
Grab well used.
Oh no, they don't anymore. Wasn't the best plan. Dude, no one sticks this.
Buying time. It's expensive here for Loud, and now they've got to throw Pancada in the situation.
Yeah, it's done. Dude, no one stuck this in the 1v2. What are they doing?
LZ does it again. 2G keeping it working.
Yeah, nicely done from 2G. Just played the time on this.
Against Loud.
It's not the cleanest execution out of that first gun, but again, you just can't be complaining about that if you're 2G. They'll be able to buy in rifles, they'll have full armor, no problem. They've crossed the first hurdle here on Pearl.
The Red Bull clutch for the in-game leader.
Damn, bro.
Taking the range for the
Got
first
that
time
NA
here
stinger
for
on
2G.
them.
But at the same
Just the
time,
American
like,
stinger now.
Loud getting themselves into these positions consistently where the fight into Link is awkward. Their Astra util is on the ground, but it doesn't come in time for Vinny to work off of.
Conversely, LZ does a great job stalling the defuse and plays off it.
Exactly. 2G also continuing. They were doing this on Lotus too, where they were playing super active, super up in their post plans, especially on the
Dude,
A side.
we
saw that there as
he
well.
can't TP anymore.
Simple
Oh
clear.
god. It's Valleys with the prime. Thank you. Thanks for 60 months.
They win B
No, they
main,
win.
A main,
They
Spike
are
was
winning
in
everywhere.
spawn for all
Okay,
of
now
them.
they kind of need to chill a
Now
little
going for
bit.
their ones here, and they win that too.
They're going to win so much they get tired of winning.
Okay.
And sure, look, Loud have no guns, but
I was
like,
gonna say let's
2G are playing, like,
make sure they can get some more
clean,
ults.
perfect macro. They group up, you know, aren't going to get timinged at all. No, they're taking their ego fights and they're just win them because they can.
Cowanzine is that last player standing and really just transfixed here. In awe of what 2G
I'm going to get tired. Not if 2G 2-0 this. They're sleeping good if 2G win this.
I really like how 2G are playing the post plants too, with LZ playing into Link, this time super
Little
deep towards
2-0.
doors after being seen. The spike is also planted for him to be in Link. Now bottom right corner of sight. That is not common at all.
Now Loud have to start game planning for that next round. They do have, of course, like the retake wall potential here with their Cosmic Divide. So again, if it comes down onto B and they've got to make a play for that, they've got options.
How are they winning?
Cowan's in here, just go for it. He's
Had a really good plan on their bonus.
There's 2G again.
They hit some nice shots on their pistol.
The third round, starting to be salvaged.
Dude, 4 people surviving, the money's really good. They got good ults now as well.
2G falling down 0-4. Now it's Loud in a similar boat.
You would
Loud,
imagine
this
Loud
next
go
round is
aggro over
massive. Like you
towards A,
pointed
try
out,
and
they've
get
got the Aswell.
salvos.
They're one away from
So
the
let's
table,
see
too.
if
Those
2G
ults
are on
play
top of that
off
and they
really
try and do a
nicely
punish over towards A
off
main.
one another.
Yeah, this must be
Gabe
stressful
looking-
for you, mate.
Yeah, pretty
Holy.
unimpressed with his team's outing so far. Can't blame him. Calls a timeout here.
Seriously. I mean, where's Digizin? 0-4 to open up the map after
11 and 2.
30 bomb, 11 and 2 in opening fights. Like, come on.
Picked up.
Yeah, and
I mean, there's a potentially, or at least we can see he's picked
in
up.
my
an
opinion, you got
operator on the
DGs in, you
defense
got to
side.
try
So
get him that op
Would
early
have
on.
to, work his way halfway down B long, can play more passive over towards halls. And 2G have to shift into protocols in order to push him off that line.
This is where I wonder what 2G's call coming out of the timeout is. Because if they're looking at the money and they realize, hey, Digizin could go for the operator here, they could just run a fast ult play with the Yoru, right? Use the Yoru ult to get full scouting. You're never going to be fooled by any of the lines that the enemy Yoru is going to be playing with the op, because that ult lasts for forever. You can fully clear away sights. It's not like a Sova drone where a late swing can come in. That's not possible.
It doesn't allow for the repost of the angle by the op player. You can also get into
Okay,
halls
win
with it right
condition.
now. And that
Win
might
condition is
ultimately
here.
force a player
Get the op
entirely
out a
off
lot
B
harder.
into
But
a retake
honestly,
spot with an op, which feels awful if you
2G
get
could
smoked
keep
out
this
in
real
tower or
simple
things.
and just
Where it could be a
combo.
problem for 2G is if they do play a slower round and
Get
you
the
allow
info,
Digizin to
work
get
out a
pushed up
good
too long or
ult,
something
smoke
like this, but
down.
I think the call for
Yeah, I
them
think they're
is
going
gonna
to
be
keep this real
relatively quick.
simple. Okay, they're going to ult over towards
now,
R and then go
maybe
over towards
suspecting there's
site,
an
and then you're
operator
probably
on
going to
flank
see
to Digizin.
Teo
Still
ult
part
like
of the map where
this
they're
because
less
they're going
likely
to
to see
fall
him.
back.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 4 players
And they're going to have a
into,
free
A,
site
maybe
with crazy
5.
after
Your
plan
ult is gonna
util.
path into Art. That's what the pings looked like, with the TP to go back into spawn
And they
if
probably
necessary.
get to save
So
both of
that's
the
case
fawns
into
as well.
Plaza
This is going to be a very hard round for
eventually
Loud to win.
popped instantly for Askia. Not a whole lot to see here.
Sees
He
a
should
wall.
clone the wall.
He's a
bit of a
banana
mess
taped to
up.
the wall.
Drone in main spots nothing, so
Yeah.
pretty easy to
Teo
steal on
ult.
in.
Okay, here we go.
Teo
The
ult.
dugout though is 2 years. The clone spots him out.
Teo ult.
And here it is, a heavy util that would clear dugout otherwise. It's going to be respected by 2 years. Plays off of it. PXS now. Reassuming
my
control
Teo's
of R.
planning.
2G are fighting back in Art exactly, but Loud's position in
Big
secret
duel for the
gets them
Teo
all
here.
back onto the site very quickly.
No way.
Cohort of Loud on the oh, that's not good at all.
And the
PXS
Teo
is
got out of
finding
there.
his edges everywhere.
And now they have the
5
Teo
and 2
ult for the
right
after
now.
plan. They managed. Oh
And all
god, they've
Loud
absolutely
basically
owned it.
flipped up in
Pancardo's going to
that
ult
direction.
here,
They're gonna
and they
try
might
and
have to
find
just
the
guess
fight,
their
but there's so much
util.
Astra
They got a star on
covering
the
it.
spike.
Util that can be used to stall, can be used to just frazzle, frustrate,
They're
and
saving?
frankly disorient the defenders.
No, Astra ult goes in. Teo ult here as well.
Are they gonna
Someone
save?
needs to
I
try
think
and
there's
get
a late
info.
grab.
Oh my
PXS
goodness,
is
you
being held by
lunatic.
the upping goal.
Whoa, how
the
you...
angle.
Oh.
There's no point. There's nothing to be had here. They've got to get out of PXS.
Ow!
them. 3 for the newcomer, and he is loving it, folks. Oh, okay. Does get caught out by 2 years, but there's naught to do for
How is
Loud.
La...
Their 5th consecutive round dropped. Hard hit over towards that A side here for 2G.
I have no
They
idea.
can do no wrong on Pearl.
A disaster piece for Loud, pulling
How
off
they
the
lost
angle
all
there. They
3 of those
with
Angels.
4 guns.
It looks like me, Mini, and
Instead,
Sideshow were
PXS
playing
farming
instead of
all
Loud.
them.
What
the
just
operator
happened?
is carried over, I suppose, but these rounds are just brutal. I feel like 2G is catching every time, and even in situations where like Loud are primed and ready and are right there ready to fight, nothing's going their way.
It's a tough retake at the best of times on A, and the worst part is...
Dude, I can't believe all 3 Angels there. They're not even 50-50s. They're nowhere near 50-50s.
I think even going for the operator, in hindsight, might have been a mistake.
Please don't get hit by this new con TP out again.
Digizin, suppressed. Stuck in this spot. Dangerous. Should be able to walk it back though. Askia steps out, flash.
Okay. They know where the hero gun is though.
Now we'll actually have a player advantage. Finally, a first kill for Digizin. It feels like it's a long time.
Loud's positioning on A, having
2 rounds in a row where you found the wall.
Pivotal in a round like this, even with the sheriffs.
No pressure over towards A. Okay, 2G might get ecoed. They have a very good chance of getting ecoed here. I would love a smoke fade or they go for smoke, and they need to take some space.
Digizin might have seen it with a prowler. It's
Now
unclear if they know about this presence in A main yet.
Yeah, they messed up a little bit.
Balance down though, nice sheriff shooting here. It's an awkward buy for Loud.
This is the problem though, Spike hasn't been planted, the smoke is down, there's still players in main, and there's players towards the enemy spawn. Like, 2G are getting pinched.
I think Gobera is going to be crucial here. Find a way to relieve some of the pressure that will be coming at 2G. It's a tap for PXS. Kawanzin, unfazed.
30 seconds.
This is where this Teho util for stall starts to become a bit more of an issue.
They're so patient.
Gobera has not gone for this play through water.
Spike planted.
Passive line, we do get a spike plant that isn't interrupted.
It's all on LZ here, 1v2.
Okay, here's it. Nightfall comes in, catches on the blue players over towards A main. LZ is going to get busy. Briefly suppressed. Here comes that Armageddon to try and clear Art. PXS has to move out of it. He does. Takes some damage though. Here's LZ.
No way.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
What is that spray? Finds Kawanzin, but out to 1v3 for Gobera. Stall, you
surely not.
2 years off the spike for now. Stars come down, Digizin, shot back and taken down. Gobera,
oh my god.
Almost. 2G player close but Loud.
Okay, 2G really messed up here
A
though.
lot to get on the board.
Like this is
It is unbelievable
this is not how you want to play
that
it.
round is even remotely close. Look, Loud, they're on an eco, but the positioning they got themselves in with the opening,
yeah, the aim,
B, the pick back towards
yeah,
their
yeah.
own spawn as
2G
well.
have to have either
Like,
one late luck
they
A main,
should
or when
be
they
a
go over
chance
towards site and they
for
don't
2G
have
to
A
win
main
this
control,
round.
they got a
Having 2
smoke,
players in
smoke,
main.
fade, or A main.
Yeah, that second kill from
classic round.
LZ, like what?
Okay, deep breaths. 2G, of course, still very rich. That defense side operator.
They got a good amount of kills though, so 1, 2, 3 can't buy next. They got Astra ult that could keep it pretty simple again. The problem is they got to deal with that op. They wait for the knife, they drone out,
B-side take with Astra wall here.
they clear close. I just feel like DG Zin's gonna get a kill here. They still have Fade Eye,
Still a
right?
question though of how you're going to get this Yoru player off the site. Kawanzin goes.
Yeah, as soon as this smoke goes down, they kind of got a Fade Eye, in my opinion. Because this guy's gonna pop him.
Catch out some of these
Wait.
players. Very patient for 2G. They've got to commit
Oh,
into
they
this.
called
no
to
position
fight
anywhere else on the
this?
site.
They're going to flash out of this smoke here. They come. Askia sees a heck of a lot of action going on. DJzin's able to find one.
Grace is
Back
melting.
towards
Give me the
Horse now, but
POV of
but still
someone on
Garden's gonna
A.
connect, so he's down to his secondary. He opts out of it. Dimensional drift popped, and he will see it all. 3
1,
players
2,
here
3,
for 2G
rotating
all
come
spotted,
in.
So no other resources committed, and there is that wall in play.
They could tile over
Still no
towards
plant
site.
yet. Digizin might look to interrupt, getting back
Nice shot.
behind them over at B-Long, and Silence goes down. That's a spike loose time board for the rest of Loud to get ready.
Smoke has blocked him off, so now 2G can put the spike onto the ground.
These are the 2 performers right
Utility
now,
to get
though.
back onto the site, and LZ
This
trying
is
to
a
challenge
mad
onto the
pos to be
angle,
in, dude.
barely coming down
Nice shot.
Shiny with the fight. This is going to feel claustrophobic for 2G, but they got rid of Pancada. 2 years adopts the same
Dude,
position.
the op literally
But
is
now,
not going to be
2G
able
have
to
no
play.
reason to show themselves. They've got to be dug out by Loud. Digizin has opted for a rifle. Got that
PXS
Vandal in hand,
has
is able to
Fade
move up
Eye.
the site, and then an Astra util to stall is in play for LZ. He can do it all
DG
from
Zin
here.
picks a rifle up.
One enemy remaining.
PXS,
Astra
crucial.
suck.
There's the gravity well now. Digizin running out of options. In a 1 versus 2, trying to go for it, trying to bait LZ out into the open. Just as Loud start to find their footing here. It gets a little bit shaky, but Digizin has found 3 and 4.
Oh, it's
What a
close.
save!
It's so close.
Digizin
It's a close one!
Oh god! Holy dude, they have to eco. They have to eco. There's 3 people sitting about 2k.
Oh no!
Man, LZ, what a shot in heaven that was.
That is bad news. I mean, LZ taking that fight. This is a 2-on-3 situation. They're pinched from enemy spawn and long again, just like in the previous round, but this time they're successful in working forward, winning those fights. And even though Digizin gets 4 on the round, the amount of time it took to get back in there is just not good enough.
Such a chaotic round. Loud try and mix it up, place himself out to smoke it. Doesn't go the way they needed to, and then the operator finally wrested from the grip of Loud.
Round is playable,
6-1.
Tui's having the ultimate. There's
Loud have a lot of ults. Do they use it on the
mid
eco?
space, for a
They
quick
go
flank.
super aggro over towards middle in reaction to losing over towards B.
Okay, briefly, 2 years is spotted out. Oh my god, losing the...
Yeah, they kind of locked him in
Visor
here.
would be
It might get a
devastating
little
for
bit
Loud.
rough for
That's so
2G.
critical. They're still guarding to their chances
One of
of having
those
fair
again
fight in the
where
round.
they don't really realize how wrecked they are.
One Guardian is the
Thorns,
guy
flash.
that's over in the enemy spawn. No chance there.
Okay. So gate crash, using
Okay, Aski is out though, and they got the Thorns to make sure that these guys can't flood into sight.
Digizin almost caught there
Nice
with
shot.
util in hand.
Kind of
Gets
gave
rid
him a
of
gun.
LZ, critical player and okay. The classic sings for 2 years.
Yeah, and they ult and they
And
managed to pick up
look
2
at the
guns
flank.
as well.
The Guardians walked all the way up. Vinny is waiting, boxing these players in, playing right up on top of the Vise wall.
So there's no options. There's a clock ticking now for 2G. I'm not talking about the round timer. They've got to get over
That's
this
impossible.
side
Look at
now,
these
but it's
positions.
awkward.
30 seconds left.
As the arc rose, getting work done. Cowanzine trying to dig PXS out of that position. 24 seconds, eyes on the clock, folks.
Vinny on the move now on the flank, making a lot of noise. 2G have to act fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy to let that shield wall herald his arrival, and so
Vinny, big
2G
swing.
have to go for it. They're forced into an error. Loud able to gobble them up
Okay,
here.
kind of
Rivera
just
doesn't know where to
kind of
look.
just on the ecos, they're messing up a little bit. You can tell from
Loud.
just watching the minimap that they're going to lose the rounds.
Clawing their way back into this game after a nightmare start.
Loud
It's
in
still-
these egos.
still a good
Continuing to go
half
their
right
way.
now.
Those are the only rounds they can win,
The
it
problem
seems.
is that Loud can easy recover here. They just get so many upgrades
Comes
in terms
after
of
almost
guns.
getting owned on a timing here, but re-swings off the flash. Good off angle, held backside 2 from Tui's. The second that guy's trying to clear the left corner, he's swinging around the right.
You said it, round was playable. Especially with that steel garden.
Yeah, there's a good
Now,
chance for Loud
2G
to get 6 here.
Again, so many of these
Force them
rounds
back
so
to an
close, that
eco.
economy
Money's really good.
trash.
They're about to get ult
No ults,
cycles.
forget about that.
I want to see 2G do something in mid. It's just kind of been side hit after side hit for the last few rounds. Haven't seen the slow work, haven't seen the Vise wall challenged.
We've kind of seen like PXS when he gets into water. Like there was that crazy round where he's able to really punish Loud, but you're right, not a whole lot of work in link.
Yeah, it's oftentimes later in the round or even in the post plant trying to push in there.
Yeah, another round where they
Nightfall's
find the
gonna be
wall.
triggered. Once again, Loud do commit both their A players into main
Oh, that's nice.
to set up a potential crunch if 2G commit through link.
Ooh, pretty deep drone, spots nothing. So yeah, Loud should know this mid space is being taken advantage of. You got Vinny playing back towards spawn, throwing a knife actually. See if anyone's up close.
So far, pretty impenetrable here for Loud. All of this stall util. And Carter to
Nice
play
shot.
from behind it, quick
But
snap.
Ash to start, got
Nova pulse here,
Thorns.
but nobody to be affected by it. Pancada mildly smoked out, just make sure he clears it in
Oh.
case it was a Durka moment.
30 seconds left.
Pops down the smoke to break the one way there.
Askia.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get through this choke. These
Beautiful
is too
from
much.
Pancada, very clean. Askia challenging as well, the Razor Biden, risking laceration to try and come from an unexpected angle. Eventually Pancada goes down, but he definitely got his money's worth this round.
Yeah, I like that off angle he was working from back pillar.
10 seconds left.
We know
Quite
finish
on
shot
the
case.
same line.
PXS turned into mulch, and Loud have got
Yeah,
themselves
there's a lot of
3
ults here
rounds.
now.
Yeah, Methodical
One
not
away,
taking any undue
2 away
risks
for
there.
you.
I think
Your
a far
ult.
cry, I think, from the way they approach their defense on, Lotus, where they're always pushing up, so busy, like a kicked anthill.
Yeah, this is a little bit more reserved in general. Falling back into, again, I think something that Loud have always been very good at, like sight-holding fundamentals, like that tandem play, whether it's the positioning you can find, the timings of swings together. There, it's sort of that push and pull between Pancada and Tui's back sight. Pancada falls off the line, Tui's re-enters on a slightly different angle. That can be really hard to clear away,
What
especially
percentage
if
you
you've
giving
already
Lev for
used
next
your
game?
initial volley
It's
of
pretty
utility.
close.
Change of tack required here for 2G,
Maybe,
for sure. What was getting them success in the early rounds? Perhaps no longer
60-40
relevant
with
anymore,
what we've
especially
seen
once
so far.
Digizim's able to get an
I think
operator.
C9 looked good.
After that first gun round didn't go quite so well for Loud.
Elementor, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Appreciate the 7 months.
Funding their aggressive forays here on Pearl. So what's the change going to look like? What's the mix-up? We did see them make some more use of Link and mid in that round, but that was, I mean, it's an eco round. Didn't have much to work with. They're just sort of grasping at straws, and Pancada really just stopped them in their tracks.
I think 2G are going to prefer the A site a little bit more. They've got some good ultimates coming up for clearing that away, but also I think with how consistently Tui's has been putting like wall
let's see what
like the few times
what's his first time playing Yoru?
That wall there. I think playing like Yoru clone to break that away, put some pressure early, could be a good look for them. Although, as I'm saying that, doesn't exactly seem to be the case.
That's something overlooked as well.
What do I know?
First Yoru look here for Digizim. Look, shaky start was 0-4, I think, at the start of the
focus
map.
on the sides. Definitely would like to see 2G maybe
control early.
Start cloning down here to break this wall. They found the wall like 3 times in a row.
I'm not sure what this is.
Drone goes out. They set the Yoru up over towards
B.
B.
If there's a plaza push up from the defenders.
Oh no! Boosted up. Digizim gets the kill.
Damn, dude.
They had their own Astro Smoke put down long, trying to threaten a pop into there.
Immortal, thanks so much for the prime. Thank you for the 2 months. 4th round that they found the wall.
Leaning 3 players towards that side of the map. This is an annoying round for 2G to fight their way through.
Okay, 2G gonna have to go for it
here. At least this time they actually have like someone lurking late over towards A, but again, just positionally, they just lose the round.
Step on up and get knocked on down.
Silence gets the kill, but
yeah, Silence here just didn't have the timing to be of any use in that fight. And unfortunately, 2G they just come off an eco round. Silence.
Yeah, it does feel like a 6-6.
It's gonna have to probably take.
It's Louder winning these rounds without ults.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Tui's already has him boxed in from window. I really like the way that Loud have reacted to the mid-attention, right? If their wall's ever triggered or they hear audio in that space, there's 1-2 players stepping into A main almost immediately.
A main is a struggle. It shouldn't be, though. The comp's really good at taking A main.
A little bit risky, but I assume flashed himself onto that line.
Like, you would imagine with this comp, they have a really solid instant tether.
You never crouch those angles.
Instant tether damage, and salvo damage, so you can always take A main.
Okay, Loud has built back into this game well and truly now. 4 out of the last 5 rounds won. No chance for 2G to stabilize an economy. And they're back to half armor shares in this next round.
If they don't have time to do it, they can just copy the foot one.
And look, that's something that I think the very round that Digizim first got knocked, 2G were kind of aware of. That round they went over towards A, they tried to avoid it entirely. But eventually you have to pay the piper. You have to do something about this Yoru.
I'll return.
Well, I'm anticipating 2G. Maybe grab the Yoru ult here if they want to commit that into the round. It's a fight in A main. Calian is up in this.
Okay.
Hello? Just in the thick of the utility, 2G continuing to challenge on that angle.
This is kind of what we said, though. They should be able to force into A main.
Silence? Yes. 2G really fight doggedly for this A main control. Have it get themselves a rifle upgrade as well. And now, LZ does give his position away, of course, with that shield wall activating, but you're not too bothered about that at this point.
It's looking like one of their better rounds.
So here's that defensive side in Null Command. Hard to set up now if you're the Astra on 2G.
You're happy to pull one ult. You're even happier to pull a second ult.
You guys can definitely take the space here if you want.
And now 2G don't have to instantly commit because they showed that player breaking the wall in mid. There's a lot of pressure going into the center of the map right now.
Yeah, the call is to go back over towards B, as we can see on the minimap. Real nice. And what are they going to do? Why do I feel like they're going to fake with the tail?
Because of that, Null Command is still so much of that
now they go back over towards A.
Draw upon here. Still fully set up for A. Have a full execute. Get Silence in position to let the rifle sing.
Full goes at the back, force him over towards site. It's pretty much all down to Vinny. He does have low HP, and he just ran back into the ult.
LG's caught the timing. Full flash, though. Oh, okay. Finally wins the fight. And now the rest of Loud can move into the site. 10 seconds remaining. PXS puts the spike on the ground. Loud quick on the move. First kill for Pancada. And they keep flooding in. Players from all directions. Digizim is back in main. against 2G.
Surely this is good.
What?
Yeah, no way you're prepped for that one.
Silence!
Oh
Okay.
my goodness, he almost did an absolute madness.
My heart
What
too old for this.
happened
Okay,
there?
defuse here for Loud. And the game is now within one singular round. 2G fighting, but that will remember, that was Eco. They were able to upgrade to a rifle there. Silence really put it to use. Kawanzin, or rather Pancada, inexplicably going down to that Armageddon there. Looks like there was nowhere to move on the site. Oh, frustrating, but yeah. It's been such a good half now. Loud have gotten into the game properly.
Tech pulls, maybe. Either that or he ran out of bullets.
Good bounce back, that's for sure. Now, though, 2G have every ultimate to play with. It's been a while since we've seen them have a couple of these ults in the round, since
Well,
their streak was kind of put to the
doesn't
end.
look like tech pulls.
Last time it was Askia moving in through Art, ending in an A finish. Could turn into something similar in the mid-round.
A much less adamant approach to the A main control for 2G this round. They very much let Loud have it. With a, with an asterisk there. It's
We finally saw it in the
Silence
last
sitting back
round,
waiting
though.
for the push-up.
This is
Do
good. They
really
take so
like
much space.
how Loud
Can't believe
continues to
Loud
get
just
that
have
forward
one
position.
setup.
Now Jin taking that
It's kind of
first angle
crazy.
up in A main.
The only thing they do is switch which side the Yoru plays.
Nothing, so great timing for 2G to go for a pinch into A now.
What does this reclick from 2G at A main look like? Okay, stealth drone. Okay, Armageddon.
That's a bit premature.
Very much so, yeah. 2G's going to be able to get out of there. And now they lean here more in the direction of Art. Askia knows the Digizin is still here. He knows there's a double up, in fact, for Loud. This is scary here.
Oh
And
my
there's
god.
Askia emerging, takes Digizin down instantly. Kawanzin
Oh
spotted out,
my
of
god.
course. That's the Nightfall doing work. A second here for the 2G duelist. He's got to respect that special delivery. The Steel Garden comes in, and Askia, he's unstoppable.
30 seconds left.
Probably one of the
That's
weirdest
long way
4Ks
away
I've
from the
ever
action.
seen. Especially the first two kills.
Backside, Askia going on a
Last
journey
two
for
were
that
really
ace.
nice though. That was a fast flash by him.
A monstrous round from him.
You kind of called it, these big ultimates for 2G, getting him such an edge. Askia, believe it or not, used dimensional drift this round. Caveira, his nerve fails him.
Should be enough damage.
Askia
30
though, still on
HP.
for the ACE. Looks like 2G here. Again, great start to this half. Loud get into it, start to download him a little bit more. And there
What
it
a
is,
round,
folks.
man. What a round from you.
I power race for Askia.
Switching sides.
His ultimate that round was crazy. It was a more methodical play, right? But coming in for that wraparound in main, knowing that they were all deafened. So he pops out of this ultimate. I do think Digizin dodged the Nightfall.
Yeah, he did.
But still couldn't win that fight. Then Vinny had no chance against him, and that shot there was crisp.
Yeah, they made us wait for it a little bit there, but clean showing, of course. Oh, buddy. Got to be pleased about that one. 2G again, a 7-round attack side here on Pearl. A blistering start, a peter off later on, but still finishing in style. We've got a break and then a second half of this map coming at you.
Satisfied nod. That means a very nice round. It's a must-win pistol for Louds.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Is 5 enough? What's their comp again? Vice, Teo, Fades, Yoru. Oh, dude, it might be hard for Louds. Do you know why I'm a little bit worried for Loud as well? It's just like the lack of setups they had, I guess. Maybe I'm just reading into the fact that their Vice was in the same position 12 rounds in a row, but I don't think that should be happening. Is 2G impressing me or is Loud disappointing me more? I'd say a solid mix of both. It's a real solid mix of both. Loud played worse on Lotus than they played on this half of Pearl though. Loud got the breaches, not the fade. Yeah, I was trying to think of the 2G on defense. So Loud have a huge They have a huge weakness in their comp at the moment that if you get an op deep, like far back over towards B, there isn't that much to push you off of the angle, apart from a drone. In which case you can literally just play the first 10 seconds of the round with a rifle here and an op back at B,
I think for me it is the
like on top of the screens, and then I don't know how they clear B ever,
didn't have much of a chance
other than doing like flash force it.
Now Loud working into the safe space.
I might probably get straight in on this one.
LZ getting pushed back, just super active on that
Oh,
line.
he's in trouble.
Doing very
How's he
nice
got out of
work
there?
to push through the space.
LZ just spent most of that time jockeying back around the corner.
Let's get a smoke down as well.
wasn't able to capitalize on any of the damage done. On the side now, okay.
The stun's incredible. What the spam's like.
To play out in the open here and spam down through this smoke. It's been effective.
The spam's kinda good. There's a big luck over towards Art right now, and I'm watching Gobera, and he didn't. Whoa! I was gonna say he didn't look ready for it, but.
By Pancada, but one shot is all it takes apparently. And all that bluff and bluster from Loud early in the round has petered out. They look a little sheepish.
And they were close enough to hear them run away, and this guy's close enough to hear them here running away. So they kind of know they're going over towards B early. And look at this push. The problem is if he goes and triggers the wall, they know about it. So he should pretty much go towards the wall, and then this guy should go here, and they shouldn't trigger the wall, in my opinion. They should just stack 3 here. Don't do it. Oh. Okay, well now they know, so now they're going to go fast. How much does this wall own them? The knife doesn't hit the Vice. One person with the spike goes through the wall and the rest haven't gone through. 15 seconds and the spike is down over towards site, and there's a fast flank. Oh god, dude. Double pistol for 2G. LZ did incredibly well to survive. I have no idea he's crossed back on 30 HP and no one's hit him.
It's funny because it's that same thing LZ did on defense Lotus, right? After there was this round, there's A aggression, he opens the door and the Omen pushes through, sees no one there, kills a lurker, and then it's a full rotate from the rest of his team. Here it works out. He even puts a cross-map smoke on site to help his teammates flood through and keep up the pressure against the plant.
Askia immediately has gone for an outlaw here, looking for that solo B presence potentially.
Yeah, everyone from 2G again, buying into this one, making sure they don't get eco'd. Fade goes out, got hit. Well, I say got hit, got tags. But the knife went over towards here, so they know it only hit one, so they know that Astro, without any util, isn't going to push this, so they create pressure over towards A and then insta-group over towards B. It's actually kind of nice for Loud at the moment, they have a good chance. I know it's eco, but...
Silence as well. I have to imagine he has an inkling this is coming his way. No way, dude. Okay, sees a barrel! Okay, gets his one. Only the one, though. Now Askia. A little less solid here, but able to find 2 years comfortably. Correction's not there for Cowanzine, though he is slowed up for a time.
This fight in Link could be everything. Digizin has a Sheriff. And even numbers. If he had a chance to upgrade, that would have been big.
Salvos to stop the plant. So all done to Cowanzine, no armor.
They're going to play from under for the most part. No tower presence, so this smoke is going to obscure them entirely.
Oh, the smoke close to let you run out, and then you prowler through it to see if anyone's in, and it goes elbow. It's pretty nice.
Forced into an early retirement instead. Nova Pulse, still no plant, by the way. Cowanzine finds his 4th, though. The Bulldog bites. PXS with their Guardian now. What an important round for this newcomer.
One shot would take him down.
Digizin has to cross. PXS wary of a flank from the right side. Bites the shot! You cannot ask for much more for a debut showing. Massive Red Bull clutch here in round 14.
It's really close, but a round's a round.
Another one for PXS, because, right, Digizin only has one bullet in that Outlaw. He did so many of these shoulder baits, and he only had the light armor, so it would have been the one shot. Great work.
The way he's handled this round. It's giving years of experience.
Yeah, I think someone maybe commented that he only had one bullet here in the Outlaw.
That's the thing. We're again.
Someone was counting
rounds, that. Pistol second, where Digizin is coming up.
So he had to swap to the other gun, and it looked like he was super aware of it. Okay, the bonus they don't have much. Like 2G would just lose this round, you would imagine. But let's see how much damage they can do.
Only the Guardian for PXS.
Cowanzine with ult.
Askia, you'll note, does not have a gate crash active.
Oh, spots the gun there.
Huge info.
And now 2G are able to call in the assistance of Gobera, so he's going to be there on site. Loud haven't really started to work the map. They need to put some attention in mid. There's still this very annoying Vise wall in street that needs to be cleared away.
55 seconds to do all of this here, so highly doable. But Loud are probably
Okay, they're going to push over towards door, create
run on a
pressure, and then
thin
try split
margin
over
here.
towards 8.
Here's that mid-control aforementioned.
Does he go close enough to hit the wall? No, he doesn't, so they have full info, so they can full pass and stack A.
On A.
35 seconds left.
Clearing through
Smoke, one flash.
Here come Loud.
Shot.
Arm to the
Absolute shot, and no A main
that's the
control.
guarding the round,
Should be
singing out there
impossible.
for
It
PXS.
actually should be
There's
impossible.
25 seconds.
Oh, in the smoke! You're kidding. LZ able to find just the one. Gobera gets his, and Apicata and Tiers are up against it. Silence knows he's got to go for it. And there it
Holy
is.
hell, they
A nasty
they
350.
bonused him with a
Sickening
with a
from
guardian
2G.
and a couple of pistols.
There's just something different in the air right now, 2G.
Kinda
Winning
done,
all
isn't
these
it?
fights. Again, it is PXS, by the way, in main. The same way that Loud were controlling A main on their defensive side, him winning that 1v1 allows him to turn his attention fully back to the site. It creates another brutal angle for Loud to have to clear when they're trying to flood out from Art. It's just not possible, no matter the guns.
And this Loud team, I mean, to be frank, look out at sea, lost, headless. Now with a stinger buy in this round, I can only hope that their pace can...
5 stingers. And 5 stingers is still
2G a little bit here,
very
but
scary.
I'm shocked.
Drone
that we're
doesn't
looking at
clear
such a
behind
scoreline.
here, so he thinks it's
Never
free.
seen, never around
Whoever
to be played
goes
for
in
him.
hits
It's the
3
same
of
story.
them.
Again, Loud on the attack, but no control over A main. 4 players tethered up in Art. Like, how are you going to fight through this round? It's
Yeah,
not
that's a
really
gun
gonna
upgrade
happen.
though.
They're just trying to overwhelm. They look like they were dancing around the maypole with 4 of them being seized there.
But they still have
at least
so much
trade
A
into the
main
map a
control, they
little bit.
can't feel like they can go 3 through here.
It's time into connector.
Deep wall giving 2G
Same time, while all
a
this
lot of
work is
info
being done in
once
mid,
again.
You've got LZ crept up into B
Oh, wait.
long. So
Did they
you've
put
got
their
2G
attack wall
giving
here?
up mid, but they have
fine.
full control over both mains and some
I know there's something else. Their
insurance
attack wall's here.
policies, whether it's back towards spawn, Silence jiggling
Dude,
the
they
angle
can
for the info.
as soon as
Okay.
Silence sees him here, he should just be tucking
Early
in.
warning now. Should be able to see Silence. Can he spot out LZ over towards him?
Yeah, LZ might
That's
really
massive.
own this. Big swing.
Now Loud playing
Big
without
swing.
knowledge of a player that's in a bit of a pinch position. Still Digizine being canny about how he starts to swing holes.
30 seconds left.
Weird round.
What a-
Loud
what
moved
a
up here in link for
really
now.
weird round.
LZ waiting for the perfect time to spring forth. And there's Digizine down. And still, LZ hit it over and long. Oh, it's cooked.
They handled it so well. Dude, they're just better on this
Cooked.
map. They really are.
I've got to draw it back to what's
There's a couple of rounds where they like forced it on attack without map control, but other than that, they got nice reactions on defense again.
After blowing them out in the opening map. To lose to 2G, who's the expected worst team in the group, would set them up at 0-2. Now you're looking at probably having to win all your
LZ
games.
did, he didn't even
relying
have
on
to do
other
anything.
teams losing. It
He
gets a little
played it
bit muddy.
incredibly well.
For Loud, for a team of that caliber to be put in that position, and from the other hand, 2G to have a win under their belt and now still very much be in the race to make it out. That is completely out of left field.
This Loud team are the ones that were supposed to lead the way for Brazil. You know, going back to these tried, true, tested names to, again, put their region back on the map. Not only have they been eclipsed by MIBR, who went for the Youngblood in kickoff,
Would
now
this be a bigger
the
upset than
upstarts of
Boom?
2G, the Ascended team, are threatening to put them to the
I
sword
don't
here.
know.
And
Boom,
like you
Boom
mentioned,
took down Gen
potentially
G.
mathematically disqualify them from playoffs if things don't go
I would say it's
perfectly
probably
for
on
Loud.
par.
Yeah, because it's not like you have easy competition coming after this, right?
No
You've got
easy game.
Because
It's
everyone
supposed to be your
rated
easiest
2G
game.
You've gotta
really
knock
down
down still.
low.
So Loud, they have to stop getting lost in the
Because
the
Boom definitely
muddiness
looked
of
better in
these rounds,
kickoff.
right? Like,
But Loud didn't
how
look
many
as good as
1v1s
Gen.
are we offering
Well,
up to just allow 2G to take full control from a
Gen
macro
G
perspective
didn't,
of the
Gen
round?
G didn't look
Maybe
good.
he just has to come back to
Loud didn't look
execing
that
as a team,
bad.
working on what should
Honestly,
be
this probably
superior
is a bigger
protocols. You've been
upset.
scrimming for forever if you're Loud. 2G just got PXS. Had LZ step into IGL this team the other day.
They said they virtually had no practice as a squad. What little practice they had, though, they felt like it's been effective, and can't argue with that.
And even the players we've seen, we've never seen them play Pearl.
So they
Aski's
broke
tucked
the,
here, of course, with the contingency, and as
broke
soon as that
the
0
drone
point comes in,
early.
he's forced to gate crash
Attack
out, lest he
smoke.
gets stranded
5 people
there.
behind it. Full buy for them. You don't have to
Flash
do that.
himself onto the line. Where have I seen this before?
You don't have to do that.
Ooh.
You're not Digizen, buddy.
Didn't quite go the way he would have liked. Oh, big
Good spot.
Big plaza presence. Is he ready for the second player? This is a little awkward now.
Keep an eye on the push behind. There's no wall here anymore. Teo all locks them in. Wait, does he dodge it?
Somehow a gap's been found here.
Yeah.
Somehow BGZ
Link on the side, shut down. PXS drops, and now the fight into Link. Gobert, the sole survivor in that massacre.
Still no plant though. Plenty of time in the round. Plenty. So early has his action been. Gobert has only 7 points of health left.
Should be impossible with HP.
He's set to get back into the game.
So
what they have to do to mimic a fraction
good
of 2G's
damage.
power is immense, but
like 2G should be thinking it's good damage.
Keeps ahead above the surging
You got
tides.
3 people that have to rebuy. If you win this, you win the game.
Remember, the first half looked very much like this. Started snowballing away from them again. The first 4 rounds in a row. Timeout was called.
Big mistake was this. I don't know why he's doing
it
that.
Comes after
You just wait for the smoke.
Shot, so
put your
not even
TP
a
out.
1-for-1 trade.
Try to take a peek.
And then surviving backside. Very unexpected angle for those 2G players to be working against.
First round, one of the half here for Loud. It's not going to be enough in the long run, but it's a start. The op is gone for 2G. They've got no longer have that in possession.
Should have a good understanding that this round is literally the game, so you would want to see all 3 of these ults really. They can definitely heavily leave a site if they want to retake. You got Yoru ult, you got Fade ult, you got Astro. You can just
it's going to be the Astra allocated over towards B for 2G instead
Fade
of
ult.
Yoru.
Yoru can go in
the
and spot everyone, or you can do it. Yoru ult a little bit before the Fade ult, you can combo that, everyone can go in, you can util, own them with salvos. I think it should be the easiest retake ever. The only problem is they'll have to try and bait out a Vice ult. One person fake over towards A, keeps pressure here. Rotate goes in. Do they use the Vice ult early? Oh, I think they're done. Don't go in. Don't go in. You got ult.
Still got him thrown down here. 2 years committing.
Yoru is really far away. That's like the big key person they need here. He should have taken this ages ago.
The Nightfall Astral Divide combo is so brutal, retaking into the site. Very hard for Loud. You stay on the site and get hit by the Nightfall.
Fatal goes in.
Away behind the wall.
There it is.
Astro ult's here, but they don't have the Yorus. They can't get hard info.
Trying to converge and be in position to fight for this, but it's going to be tough. 2 years
Dude,
down.
look at the trades. It's wild. Room for 1v1. He's 10 HP. What a shot from Towers in on 10 HP. And 2G used all of their ults, and they didn't sync him up.
I don't know how he knew Askia was coming from
What
there.
an absolute shot that is from Towers in.
Going, really?
The back of his neck was tingling. Right, those hairs standing up, goosebumps. Coward zoomed. 10 HP. He's like, oh, this guy's just behind me. Boom. I mean, that is pure instinct. Pure instinct. Cowansley now in his 2nd year on this Loud team, already looking so promising.
Force him down to eco, and in my opinion, Askia maybe
savior of the round.
Could have won 2 rounds.
Okay, so
the last 2 rounds.
Still sort of in this game. 2G work onto a
Knife goes in, that hits a lot here. They could just insta-react over towards B if they wanted. I think it hit 3, but maybe it didn't hit the
even then,
Astra.
Still have the ultimates. They've been pretty liberal committing those ultimates in even on these anti-ecos. Just making sure they secure these rounds.
Nice shot.
Okay, the team just goes for contact there. Askia serves himself up. 2G really not in a position to argue with this A hit, but the spike was left back. It was a bit more of a default look here, so there will be time for these defenders, underarmed as they are, to get set.
2G's position is crazy. He's working into the art insert while his team is planting over on B. Got a lot of time to work with.
More stall here for 2G.
It looks like they know about this game.
This time it's Gobert as util.
You can see 2G is really trying to hunt out this lurk. They haven't seen 2E's. They know he's going to be trying something.
No way, man. This is a long barrel, I'll say that much, yeah? The long barrel of the law is thwarted. PXS now gets an outlaw. Obviously the spike does go down after some.
They're going to be very tempted to Vice all this.
Again, still, it's tough. They've got a Stinger, they've got an outlaw to work with. Here's a Horn. Sees nothing. Stealth drone sees nothing. Silence sees nothing. And mess up to PXS now. It's a big ask for him. Really starting to get into the game a little bit more. He might have just doubled his frags in that round, I'm not going to lie.
And there's a lot to talk about at the moment. They changed their B hit. They probably put the Vice wall over here as well.
Ultimates to work with for 2G.
In an ideal world, they buy an op, but they don't have the money for it.
Okay, not the most complex round. A walk up there from Loud. Some superior weapons, good crossfires. This comeback here, well and truly underway. That's 3 rounds
Good
in a
decision
row
to not
for
overcommit
Loud.
with the Vice Ult, yeah.
2G now go back
With
to
some of the
five.
trades that went in, they might
They've
have
got
won
key
it.
ultimates as
But,
well. Steel Guard and Armageddon at the ready.
okay,
But
they
Loud has a vast
don't
hit potential
call
behind
a
the ultimate.
timeout,
Should
but
they
honestly,
wanna
they
go
don't
that
need
way?
it because they put the Vice all over towards here. So they're actually changing
Early scouting doesn't
stuff
spot
up on their
anything.
own.
That's both info
Badai
pieces
goes
from
over
Loud.
towards
That's
middle,
immediately in
Drone
the
goes
round.
over towards A, and you would imagine we could see an
Usually that would
Astra ult
indicate
like this in a
faster
little bit. Oh, wait.
acceleration, so they throw out the
They
clone.
put
that
the
breaks
clone
wall.
out to trigger the wall. They kind of
Later
realized the wall would be
pivot
here.
into A.
And then
That
now,
was an awkward shoulder peek for Askia.
a lot of this
Punishable.
Allowed
goes
to
onto
do is they're gonna
Askia's
dip into
shoulders.
street here, see if they can find anything.
yeah, they go for the
I
4-1
would have
split.
threatened to pinch in towards B, but quickly look to reset into the A. But the important thing for Loud is this A main player. We have not seen this player
If
win the
Askia
fights
wins
in the
this
solo
duel,
spot.
if
Pancada
Pancada goes
can't
too
take down
early,
Askia, this round is so hard to
This
play.
is a nightmare round for Loud.
We'll be tracking that. Askia waiting, watching the slimmest line.
Dude,
Cabrera
his
falls back
ult is
now, realizes what's
incredible
happening,
like
and there's
this,
never
but he
any time
gets
to get that
KO
util out.
ulted.
Null command is popped. Askia stranded in this position. Currently suppressed. Gate crash not an option. Pancada's going to keep him here. Hold him under
Good
the
reaction,
thumb.
good
in
reaction.
Place. Here comes the reinforcements now, flashing
It's
through the
unlucky.
smoke.
Ooh,
Askia
he still
tried
got
to
a kill?
reposition,
Wait,
but
he
gets
did
in one
incredible.
kill. Still no spike plant. Loose towards A main.
Gabera
now
still
up and en
has
route
his
to the
ult.
site.
They got so much to delay the plant.
Steel Garden comes in now. That was from the defenders.
Don't think
here.
they need the Vice
More
ult, but here we
stall.
are.
More denial of a plant.
But there's only 20 seconds. They need to get the spike down
Yeah,
onto
and
the
then do
ground.
they just
Couple
like
of prowess for
tail
LG
ult
to
like
work
this
with.
and flop?
Cabrera has the ultimate too. The time is going away.
Vinny knows he's got a touch. Can Cabrera time this properly? He cannot hear. That's the problem. Cosmic Divide prevents him from getting the sound cue that he needs, and the spike goes down.
Big
Here's the
kill.
Armageddon though. Nobody there to be affected
Big
by it,
kills.
but it'll still be a cleanup. It's up to Pancada here versus 4. 2G now trying to give themselves a staging ground to end the series, but Pancada stands up, finds 2.
Oh man, Pancada 1v4. Oh boy, 2G are gonna be guarded.
How do you call upon it just when you
What
exactly need it?
what a hero that is.
Not only did he
'Cause
stay
it
alive,
looked
it
done.
He kills everyone on Loud.
It
4
looked done. His
kills to come away
reposition
with
in
a
the
Red Bull
1v2
clutch.
was
Pancada
awesome.
on the Astra,
Knew
sitting
that they were
with
going to group
22
together
kills to his
and
name
just
right
change
now.
his position so that he
I
can
mean,
kind of
the first they
catch
line
him
up
off.
for him, and then the last 2 players, they wait. It's like, let's get the swing at the same time, but no, Pancada precedes them. That preemptive strike catches them off guard.
If Pancada doesn't win a 1 versus 4, the economy for Loud essentially broken. There's just so little to work with. They're forcing Awkwardly to try and stay in the game. That is a legendary showing for Pancada. The impact can't be overstated.
timeout for
timeout now for 2
2G.
game, 'cause
It's another
nothing
devastating round.
Hits you harder than a gut punch
2
like
ults
that from a
invested.
previous champion who's still living the glory days.
That is crazy. I mean, we saw Kalanzine do it a couple of rounds ago, snapping back behind the Astra wall. This time a 1v4. Infinitely more insane.
And the buffer for 2G is starting
They
to run
look
slim.
a little
They're
defeated on their
running out of
faces.
space. Loud nipping at their heels now. They have equalized 2G's 4-round streak at the start of this half. It's a 2-round game, just as it was when 2G moves onto the defense side.
And remember, that was the hardest round left for Loud, right? The ultimates have now been spent. You're not going to see 2G probably cycling those together for a while. Maybe next round or the round after, 2G will have another big ult round, but really we're just looking at one more.
Okay. In we go now, pressed up against the barrier. Loud have definitely been fighting for this control here of A-Man and trying to have Pancada as a loose end here. We got a walk up from Askia.
Shot.
Okay.
Ooh, got out of there. Who did they lose?
That is the jackpot.
They lost Kawazin, who had ult.
Looks like Loud
I
are
think he was
still
1
going
away
to
from ult.
Contest this space.
I think that's right.
Get the orb.
Surprised they take that orb instead of giving it to DG Zin though. So they now have no
obviously back
ult.
towards spawn, so Askia has the ability to get to B quickly should it be required. Loud know they've got some time to work with. There'll of course be a large amount of utility that has to be cleared on this B side of the map, and 2U's is hoping to get ahead of the game and find something. He
Yeah, I was
does.
gonna say at one point
LZ offers him up a frag.
they're gonna jump
That's
into
going
it.
to pull one player over towards B while Loud trying to work into art. Good little 1-2 punch setup from 2G, but Loud doing their homework, clearing away those angles and moving it back into that lurk to B.
Yeah,
It's
easy
diligent
call to
using
go
the
over
util
towards
there
it.
for Loud, not taking any undue risks.
Silence, you're a little bit crazy considering this is an outlaw. Oh my god.
Okay, that's a problem. That complicates
That's a
things.
mad
Silent, though, is
confidence.
affected by that Nova Pulse,
It's his
but safe here
flashback.
for the time being.
They got no
There's
Astra
another
stop.
play here for 2G. Gate crash now into halls.
Almost a disaster there. Getting picked off by Silence. You know, Spike will go down. 2G have the numbers advantage, but no real util to work off.
See it. Salvos into Prowler into send it.
Again, Loud don't have much post plant. Util to lean on now. They're trying to buy a little bit of time, get some space, but PXS is poised, ready. It's going to be a flood here from 2G trying to come out from Hall, trying to take the fight here. Askia gets one, but it's not enough. It'll be PXS versus 2. You can't ask him to do it again, to repeat the feat from a previous clutch.
Oh, he gave that a nice try.
Dealt with by Digizine.
Okay, Loud still in it. It's a lot of rounds in a row. 6, 5, is it 5 now?
Loud just continuing to ride this wave of momentum. Digizine will have the ult. Askia looks like he wants to buy up into the operator. Trying to challenge for some of these opening fights.
One enemy remains.
This is it. It's your last best chance here for 2G to make things happen. Otherwise, you're at serious risk of letting Loud run away with this one. Dimensional drift as well for Askia, so plenty of early warning mechanism.
Change up.
The wrong guess from Askia,
Askia gets his op out, but they don't
nothing.
play it over towards B.
All the way across the map.
I think that's like
And Louder never
they haven't really been
gonna
able
be
to punish like
accelerate when the Vise is set up
the
towards
fact
B.
that this comp should struggle against an op here.
Okay, gate crash not taken by Askia.
Trying to see if there's anyone on site.
Yeah,
which there
DG's
isn't.
in goes in, clears
Digizine
everything.
drift into halls entirely here. There's so much free control. 2G have to go for a full retake.
Yeah, I think 2G
It's
messed
even
up
worse
this
than that.
round.
Askia's teleport time down. Now the fight back into spawn with Silence falling.
2G needs
Yeah,
to
they
be an
messed up
active
so many
participant
big
in this
buy
round. They
rounds.
cannot simply look on as it just happens.
I would just save it.
Again, awkwardly
I would full person safe.
come out from this position, from tower, from under, from Link, into a full 5 of Loud, who are armed to the gills and ready to defend their territory. Here's that dimensional drift. It's surely garnered some information, but he could have surmised there'd be a couple of Loud players here. Askia with the classic of all things.
Ow.
Vinny taken down, but Carter's missing. All of a
DG's
sudden,
in
this has been
20
turned on his
HP.
head. Digizine's so low.
Wait.
So low, and PXS chases him down. It falls to 2 years, the veteran. As LZ begins the defuse, 2 years thinks it's just a tap, he goes for the spray. It's
No
Wayward, it's ham-fisted.
way they
It's
won
off the
this.
mark.
That's the
And
round
the
they win.
defuse comes in.
they don't keep anyone alive, so the
Match
money's not great
points.
after this. 3K,
Finally, one of these late
1,000.
rounds goes their way. And it's not because Tui's wasn't getting the kill. He kills everybody. It's just the
4v5,
smoke
and they
allows
went
him
up
to stick
against
through with the spike.
KO ult and a
That was madness.
tail.
I mean, first of all, how are you getting that kill?
Oh my
I
god.
think LZ, Gobert, and Askia all won.
those two hit some nice
ridiculous 1v1s
kills.
at the same exact time. But it was that flood coming in, every single player jumping out of a smoke behind a corner at the same time. Just overwhelmed Loud.
Okay, 2
It's
chances.
messy, it's costly
And they
for 2G,
eco,
so
so
around, they are broke.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be writing a 1 soon.
Skins. Of course, they have a chance to take a back seat here and just fight for that round 24, but it was very costly for them.
If they can try and get one of these opening fights in mid, bait out a couple of ults from Loud.
This is no way. Oh, 2 years. Okay, gets very fortunate. It's having to back away and get a Razorvine down.
No, this guy's insane,
He's
by
ahead
the
of his
way.
wall. He's ahead of the Cosmic
This guy's
Vine.
so
The
good.
wall's going to buy so much time from the Astral. There's the second player flooding in already.
Did they
2G
break
can
the
fight
clone
this through, and
before it hit
Loud
the
can't even
wall or went
commit. Still a
after the
minute to
wall?
play
I
with,
guess
and there's a
after
good
the wall.
chance you can bounce back across the map. That seems to be the plan for Loud. But even with time, Loud have no position on the map. All of their players are in spawn. They didn't leave an insert towards B. That's the spike. They actually can't. So now, Loud almost have to attack into the center of the map.
Knife
or
goes
get
in over
completely
towards
called
A.
on their rotate.
And that Steel Garden is completely pointless.
Gobert, he hears them
There's no
running.
impact virtually on this
Keep an
round.
eye on the spike over towards
Into
B
Art
right
we
now,
go.
so they want to
2G
fake
very
over
quickly
towards Art
rallying
and then
themselves
pivot
here
back over
to
towards the
Secret,
split
to
B. As we
Flowers.
can see on the
Are we
minimap, this
pump
is
faking
incredible.
this?
It looks like the last round
PXS
of Lotus, I'm not
also
gonna lie. 2G
is
have
ready to
numbers
use his
advantage.
ult.
They over-rotate towards A because they want to play numbers. No way he's getting timing like
Yeah, and
this.
this is a
There's
lovely
no
distraction with
way.
the flash
Loud are
here.
back in the game, and Digizine with rifles. You have to remember,
Dude,
Loud
this is a
have
big
the
win for
guns.
Loud. They got
Still
big win for
going, gonna be
2G.
thrown
They got
down
Astro
anyway
ult
by
out of
2
them.
years.
They got
Takes the one stinger
They just need
out
to
of
make
the
sure they
game.
don't use this.
Fair enough.
Astro out of them,
Down,
Vice ult out of them.
Gonna get the spike deployed.
Just don't
Askia
use the fade ult
very,
and
very
you've
low.
probably
With a stinger
done
here
it.
playing from tower, it's an awkward spot to be. Nightfall here. There's a retake wall, but do you want to spend these ultimates in a round like this, 2G? Probably no. As PXS steps up, knocked down instantly. LZ gets his one. This should be a loud round. They've got control.
Nice discipline from 2G. They didn't use their ults. They got Astra ult and they got
the
Fade
bounce
ult.
back over towards B.
Yeah.
And there's Askia taken to task.
And
Here
Askia
comes round
saved enough that he
24.
can get
It's
an
about as
op.
important as it gets.
Exactly, and here's the thing. 2G lost the round, but they pulled the 2 big ults. They didn't waste any of their own. So they've got Nightfall, they've got Cosmic Divide, they're one off of Silence in the Steel Garden. So they can afford to sort of group together, fight very heavy on one
By
side.
the device ult, they all have sheriffs here, but he doesn't know.
If they want to.
All they know is that they had 3,200 average, so it might have been like everyone buying Guardian's armor, and then the first guy on B, the only person they found, have sheriffs.
This is Loud getting back into the game.
So they
Like
just didn't know about the buy.
Askia.
He doesn't go for the op.
Pushing up onto this line that Kaunzin is prepared for.
Wow.
Okay, but he gets info. He had 2 people shoot.
Couldn't get the kill.
He took 0 damage at that.
That's huge.
Now Loud.
2G want to show the idea of aggression, but really, they want to play numbers and they want to play retake. They don't want to risk any of those players with the big ults falling early in the round.
Yeah, I mean, they want to project a willingness to fight, but they'd rather just negotiate from a position of power. That's it.
Salvos to clear the left
They want
side.
the fight to get close in onto this
Drone
side.
just cleared all of R with the pressure. Teo wanted to rotate over.
Starts to look. That spike is still in spawn. This is
The good news for 2G is the person to clear the question mark over towards here is the Fade.
Okay, Digis in.
And they just did it perfectly, but that's going to change the call. So Loud with that, knowing that they cleared the question mark, it needs to go back and want to head over towards B, because they think they're going to have a rotate. So honestly, it's like a little A fake here should work well of keeping like 3-4 here. Oh wait, that's huge info. Jumped again, saw 2. Fade's coming over. 20 seconds.
Silence critical here with the Sheriff earlier on.
Fade goes in. Vinny, do they hear him?
Not a lot of time to work with.
Yes, they do.
Silence getting rid of Vinny. The lurker there through mid. There's another one coming. I don't know if he's going to be ready for it, but it may not matter. 2G.
He actually did it.
On the
He
precipice
actually
of doing
did it. Damn, dude. That's nuts.
In disarray, losing their leader.
That's crazy.
Their
That's so
first
crazy.
win of Americas. In a debut for PSS.
Man, I'm pretty happy for them.
Silencing
That's wild.
the doubters, and maybe they're doubting their own minds as well.